Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Hades 2, and today we are actually experiencing a new update for the first time, a balance update that actually came out a few weeks ago, but we had a bit of a backlog of runs, and so this is our first time actually doing it. And the big things are, I think, primarily a lot of enemies have been rebalanced, particularly on the surface. And although I don't remember all of the enemies' names exactly, it looked like a lot of them were some of the enemies that I've expressed some discontent with from the possibly even second, but I think largely the third floor, Olympus, and maybe even some on the summit as well. So given how our previous 3 runs, I think, all fell short and got a little bit frustrating. And, one of the reasons why we had not yet done this update was because I recorded those in quick succession. So, it has been a little while since I last played, but to have some hope that some of those enemies that were frustrating me may now be a little less frustrating to go against is a little bit encouraging. So, there's that, and then the other thing is that... Let's see... Get it here? No, I think it's on this side. Yes. The crafting resource that we used to get from defeating the final bosses, this Zodiac Sand, and is it the Void Lens as well? I'm actually a little bit surprised that they still exist here, because I thought I was just reading that these are going to basically get deleted, and we're going to get prestige in return for them. Basically, it's the equivalent of selling them at the Wretched Broker, I believe, and I think the idea behind that was probably, just see, so basically it would be as if you were selling them here. I think the idea was basically, there have obviously been several months in which people have been able to play the game in early access, during which time, if you completed a bunch of runs down below or on the surface, then you theoretically could stockpile some of those high-level crafting resources, the ones that eventually may allow you to get the craft that finishes the game. So my assumption, reading between the lines, is that basically is Supergiant, the developers, saying, okay, we don't want people to be able to craft the thing that allows you to beat the game almost immediately once we get full release out. We want... You can get somewhat of a head start if you played in the early access by having all the weapons unlocked, upgraded, keepsakes, all that stuff, other upgrades, but make it so that the most important resource that is sort of plot-based, that you still have to start from scratch once full release comes out. So I'm surprised that... I'm pretty sure I just read something that said we were going to lose these. It may be that by the time this run is over, those may disappear. But anyways, as for what we have planned for this run, as I was saying, I do think that most of the enemies that got rebalanced seemed as though they were on the surface. I know we've had several unsuccessful surface runs as of late. In the most recent one, we even tried to stack the deck in our favor with our favorite weapon and possibly even little to no fear. And yet, it was not successful. So, this time round, maybe we'll go with a similar approach. Cross our fingers that our luck will fare a little bit better. And if we do win, then awesome, great. Even if it's maybe not quite as meaningful as it once was, if we end up losing the key resource from it. But if nothing else, even if we don't make it all the way, we at least learn a little bit more about some of those new or newly reworked enemies. And the other thing that I'm considering
can deepen my connection with the night.
Is that I don't think we've done the Scylla rival fight yet. That would be the next one on our list, so I am kind of intrigued by going down for that, but maybe we'll do that next time around. Otherwise, especially given how we no longer get those bonuses, at least permanent bonuses, from those crafting resources from finishing a run, it may be all the more reason to start going back to this guy, the Chaos Trials, fairly soon. Let's just see, what is the bonus weapon? It's the axe. Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. There were some weapon tweaks as well, or aspect tweaks. I admittedly do not remember what all of them were off the top of my head, but I think Aspect of Malinui on the flames got buffed, if I remember correctly. That might have been a 2% critical hit chance before. Now it's 4. So that is much higher. There are other secret aspects that we've yet to use as well. Have we used this? Grants you wave the Valkyrie after... Hold on. I'm not sure if we have.
Revolve?
What news?
Hold on. We used this, which was a secret aspect, a hidden aspect. What is the status on the other secret aspects, though? We don't have it yet. The blades.
I have
Don't have it
returned.
yet for you. I know we've used at least one of these secret aspects. Oh yeah, we haven't even unlocked that one yet. Okay, well that answers that question then. Alright. So, maybe we try one of the new hidden aspects, since we know we can at least unlock you. And that's the only... Yeah, that's the only one we have. Okay. So let's try this. It does probably mean we're less likely to succeed on this run, since this is going to be a very new experience for us. And at least the previous hidden aspect that we used was quite unique, so it definitely did take some getting used to. Let's see what this is all about. You have Frostmane, grants the Wave the Valkyrie after you charge special. Valkyrie attack speed. Okay. Valkyrie, your attack fires continuously, but you cannot use charge moves. It lasts for 3 seconds. So basically, use your charge special, and then you spam your attack button for a few seconds. Sounds like that's basically the idea. I mean, honestly, that's more or less how I tend to play this weapon anyway. So maybe that could work quite well for us. It is expensive. We can just barely afford it, and those are some valuable resources, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it.
Hell, did you say?
And then we might even be able to upgrade it further, depending on what it costs. It is Nightmare. Gives us more, I mean, twice the attack speed bonus. I think we go for it.
Show me
Let's
your
do it.
true strength.
Then out of curiosity, what does this cost? Even more Nightmare? I mean, that's pretty nice. I do like attack speed bonuses, not gonna lie. So that is... Well, let's at least see what this is all about first, before we get too carried away. Whoa, that goes a long distance.
Almost as good as mine.
Whoa. Okay, and that's the new attack? Is that only during the 3-second span? No, it always looks like this. And if I charge it up, does that... Okay, that is very different.
Counter right now.
Hold on. I want to just go back to the aspect of Malinui, on the off chance that this has been reworked to work that way as well. No, okay, that still works the way we remember it.
Still
Yeah,
not
the
even
base
close.
attack, and certainly the special. That's the normal one. The charged one. Very different. Very different. Okay, so I'm intrigued. I have no idea how good it's gonna be, but I'm certainly intrigued. And basically it turns into a machine gun after we use this, right? Because it's use the charge special, then in our... Oh no, the Frostmane alternate moveset. That's just always the case. Attacks burst fire without using skulls. Special seek foes. Okay. But then, yeah, when we are in the Valkyrie mode, that's when it turns into a machine gun attack, but we can't use charge moves, lasts for 3 seconds. So it just seems like, since it is a machine gun at that point, the attack speed is a big deal. So I know we don't have that much Nightmare, but I think we do it.
Awaken.
I think this could be really cool. And this is probably now where we'll draw the line, even if those attack speed numbers do still very much catch my attention. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Admittedly, this is only making me want to invest even more in it. I mean, we still have enough Nightmare to get at least one more upgrade on a different weapon after this. Let's do it!
Revolve. Reveal your secrets.
Okay, so we could afford the last one, but I will draw the line here. We do this, and then that is just ridiculous. And then you see, okay, yeah. So once the Valkyrie mode is gone, then it's less of a machine gun, but still. So I would think in that case, attack boons could be absolutely huge, especially if you get ones that probably give you either a flat damage boost or a percentage damage boost, not ones that only activate, that apply a curse that deals a chunk of damage after a certain amount of time, because that probably means that you're not going to get much value out of the crazy fast attack speed. So, what is that? Ares would be a no-go. Zeus is a little bit along... Oh, Hephaestus would be a no-go in all likelihood. But if we could get... I mean, Aphrodite is always our go-to just for pure damage, although there are others that could work as well. So I'm intrigued. We'll start with the coin purse, as we often do, I suppose. And which of our pets do we have at the moment? I am not sure. Technically, it's Golly. Okay. There is a chance that some of the... I think Tula was buffed slightly, at least when it comes to her damage-dealing stuff. She does obviously have the Depth Defiance, which is really nice. But... any other... rocks? Resources from you, and the base crit chance? I don't know. I guess we can keep Golly. Sure, we'll do that. Okay. Then, on this front, just see what we had last time. We took extra health on the enemies and 1 shield. With fast attacks, I would think that 1 shield wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Also, the bonus enemy right now is Prometheus. We only need 2 fear, which is nice, although obviously Prometheus is fairly far along on the run, so that is not a given that we will get more of the resource that we just spent a bazillion of in order to upgrade this weapon. I don't care. It looks cool. It looks fun. I want to try it like this. I don't care if we spent almost all of the resources that we've been spending a long time saving up. That doesn't matter. Ooh. Hold on. I usually do like Demeter. What would we want from her?
Should this night take you all the way to hell and back, I still would gladly come along. But this is the best that I can do from here.
Why, thank you. So, I was thinking probably cast. I mean, this is usually what we go for with her, because she's not the best in terms of pure damage, but that freeze effect is just so incredible. And so getting that in an area around us to set up some crazy attacks, I think that could be critically effective. Do this, then we do this. Please don't do that. Please reconsider. Oh, I didn't do the charge special. That's why that wasn't quite as fast. I don't know what that update was for, but okay. Huh. Don't know what we're gonna want from Hera. She does have some area of effect stuff, which could potentially turn this attack into a really nice area of effect option. But I think I was going more along the lines of, I was thinking more along the lines of single target for it, I think. Alright, let's do this first. Please don't do that. Yeah, that machine gun effect is pretty sweet. I do love it. Oh, okay. Actually, though, also it does kind of look like an enemy's attack when it comes back over to us. So that's going to take some getting used to. But we only have enough magic for one of our charge specials, which I'm now realizing is going to be a critical component for us, because that's such an important thing to allow us to use our machine gun attack. So magic restoration or other ways to make that more spammable would be key.
I always knew Kronos would return. Zeus kept saying I was fearful over nothing. We buried the old wretch in the depths of Tartarus after all. But he's a deathless titan. Time, it seems, slipped through our fingers.
Okay. That's not a bad percentage boost for our attack. It's already really strong, and we don't even have a a boon on it yet. Specials, but the other thing that we could benefit from getting the hitch on would be our special, because this has a more natural ability to hit numerous enemies, since it moves around and technically does heat seek. This would be the magic restoration I was talking about. I'm not necessarily sure this is the best way for us to pick it up. If you run out of magic, Prime 18 to restore all. So basically you take a penalty for the rest of the room in order to restore your magic, and eventually the penalty is going to take up all of your magic, and then it's functionally stopping you from doing anything for the rest of that room. So long encounters, that would add up to be a bit of a problem, but it is otherwise possibly the most convenient, or the most straightforward way. It doesn't require any special stuff to get that magic restoration. So I think we go with this. It's interesting that the rare is 70 here, the epic is 70 here. That's not bad, don't get me wrong. If that does show up with that kind of rarity, then we may end up taking it next time. Let's see what we end up with. There is more Hera, which is not really a surprise, since usually there is the potential to double or triple down even. What is catching our attention here? That is Selene, probably would be as well, because we were saying we may find ourselves spending a lot of magic very quickly. So that, Medea, who we are not so much of a fan of anymore, what with how she's been messing with us with the rival Polyphemus fight, which we are not doing this time around, thankfully. I do like Hermes. Wait, so Hermes 1, maybe Hera 2, Medea 3, Selene 4, Hammer, I mean, realistically, that's going to be the first one in all likelihood, but that's 5. Then probably Demeter is the last option for us. Again, not necessarily in sequential order. Medea is typically one you want to take as early as possible as well, because she has some things that just give you bonuses over the course like passive bonuses over the course of the run, and so the earlier you get those, the more they can start to add up. So we'll go with her, then we'll probably go with the Hammer.
Spider silk?
The old she returns.
Hello!
Fear nothing, sorceress. At least not from me here.
Okay.
Beyond the city gates, I shall be testing your resolve whenever you speak the vows. But in this pharmacy, as I call it, I merely test the potency of my concoctions and the like.
Well, we do have a better sense of what sort of concoctions she's cooking up.
But you fought against me with such rancor, Lady Medea. If there is some bad blood between us, I would like to know the cause.
Indeed.
Perish the very thought. I merely wish for you to not let down your guard with anyone. And besides, there's no bad blood for those of our predilection. All blood has its uses.
Okay. Foe is slain, 20% chance to drop some healing, limit 1 per location. We've seen it before. Yeah, I mean, it might help. If foe joins the encounter, it loses 50% of any armor it has. Usually, I kind of scoff at the various things that deal bonus damage to armor, or in this case, just outright removes it. However... Excuse me? I don't think we've seen this before. That's incredible. Yeah, no, we're taking this.
Perfect.
I was about to say, maybe the armor removal could be helpful, especially this early on in a run, in case we find ourselves in some mini-boss encounters with some annoying enemies. It could make them a lot easier to take down, since enemies are also generally immune to stun when they're armored. So once you do break the armor, then they become much easier to deal with. But getting extra magic every encounter at the very beginning, when... Oh, hello. When, as we were just saying... Okay, that was incredibly stupid of me. Like, unbelievably stupid. In part because I used the charge attack when I meant to use the charge special. But there goes one of our golly blocks, wasted in the most ridiculous way. But alright.
Freeze.
Do this first. We may have just had to use another block. Problem is the sequencing of our attacks is pretty slow. So if we are truly trying to get, you know, the big combos going, then that does make it, it really looks like that special is going to damage us. But if we are trying to set everything up, then it does take a little while before we can start really dealing damage, or at least doing enough damage to take people out. But then once we do, it is very effective. Now, this, of course, could make that much better still. Attack shots bounce toward one additional foe, deal plus 15% damage on each successive hit. Could be really good with this weapon, especially given how many hits we're getting, so it turns it into, again, more of an AoE type of move. After your charge special projectiles fire outward, they fire inward. I don't know about that. I mean, the charge special at the moment is mostly a setup for our attack, and the attack itself is the primary source of damage. Here is the armor stuff we were saying before. 600 damage is a ton, but I think we still go for this.
Feels
Think-
even sturdier.
That will help us clear out enemies much more efficiently, I'm hoping. Okay, so I think we're skipping Zeus. If we're skipping Zeus, Hermes is another one. The earlier we take it, the better it may be, because there are some passive bonuses that may add up. So let's go with you next. Not sure if that counts as charge. That does read it slightly. Oh, there we go.
You'll be out in no time, Shades.
Okay, maybe we do attack you. Potentially finish this room, or not. I take it back. This, we try not to get hit by that. Guess there's some of the chain. Okay, getting more magic. That should add up to be a lot by the time the run is through. Maybe enough so that we no longer need to worry much about recharging our magic.
You know, I think my stepmom likes you quite a bit. Not to be taken for granted. Despite her specialties, I get the feeling our Queen Hera is not too keen on kids.
Oh. Let's see. Sprint is 15% faster. We gain a barrier that ignores 3 instances of damage per encounter. That is incredible. Otherwise, reduce foes' projectile speed by 50%. I mean, if we make it all the way to the end, Typhon in particular, I'm thinking of, would have several attacks. It'd be a lot easier to avoid if we had this. But that's a long ways away, and this has a lot more potential to help us in the meantime, so I think we'll definitely go this route. I think I do remember reading in the patch notes that there was something about Typhon's, some of his projectile attacks either having shorter duration with the projectiles chasing after you, or something else along those lines. So it might be a little bit less of an issue now, even without having taken that boon. Okay, so I'm thinking now it's probably Hera, Selene, and Demeter. I know we have double Hestia here, so there would be some potential to build in some Hestia synergies, but obviously we already have a boon from Hera and from Demeter, so we're a step ahead on those ones. And the Selene, I mean, the more encounters we complete, the more magic we have, the easier it is to set up our Hex. Maybe we do take that now. Okay, that's not a great... Okay, that was... Also, I got stuck because the game insisted on slowing everything down to show me that... I don't even remember... Was it the block that slowed everything down to show me? And I thought I was going to get stuck and get hit by one or both of those explosions. It's a little alarming.
I bid you shine for me again tonight.
The monster Typhon, he has known defeat before. He has since grown in size and strength and fury. Yet I hold to every faith you shall emerge victorious against him, little star.
Oh, okay, this is another reason why I was interested in getting Selene early. It's the Zombify one. Raise the last susceptible foe slain in this encounter to fight for 12 seconds. It's not one we tend to take just because it's kind of finicky and gimmicky against bosses, which is when usually your hex is most meaningful. You can't really use this until there's an ads phase, and so it's a little unfortunate in that way. Otherwise, it's this for the healing. It's this for the blast after 4 seconds. This would probably have been my first choice, if not for the duo boon, but we'll take the duo. Oh, okay, and this is... We will need to do the minigame here. Okay, so prepare myself.
Let me show you the way.
Oh, I messed that up for a second. Ooh, okay, that one definitely did not get the full amount, but it's something. And then also for good measure. Huzzah! This is Fred. Fred is our new best friend. Have we ever... We might have never taken this one before, to be honest with you. Oh, also, goodbye, Fred. We might have taken it once before. Also, did we have any of the side rooms? Because I don't remember going in. We definitely have not gone in any, but there's a chance that I just zoned out and walked right past them. If so, sorry. Hopefully they just weren't there.
Where else can we go?
And instead, we'll get a whole bunch in these rooms. So, the big thing we would like to pick up, especially going into the upcoming Polyphemus fight, would be an attack boon of some variety. So, we saw a nice high rarity one from Hera. We turned it down because we prioritized the special. Although, wouldn't say no to it now. In fact, I think that boon would have more damage. At least more damage per rarity than the Demeter one would. Which is why... I will use this? No. Which is why we'll prioritize getting this first, and if we do see the attack boon, we'll probably take it, although again, I would really like for that to be high rarity, because that is going to be really critically important going forward. That is probably the single most important boon for us on this entire run. At this rate, at least. Sprint inflicts hitch. Okay, we're just not seeing it. We do have a reroll if we really wanted to use it, although feels like maybe this is not really the right time to do it. Damaging effects from Olympians are stronger for each boon giver we have. It's a little early for that, and we are kind of accepting that we're about to double up on... We just doubled up on Hera, and we're probably about to double up on Demeter as well. Is still not bad. Hitch effects deal more damage and last 5 more seconds. At the moment, that's just coming from you on the special, although we are planning to use that quite a bit. So, I mean, either of these could be good. They work really well together. What are we looking like? Oh, our boons are all different elements. Okay, so that's not really a tiebreaker here. We have to run directly into foes for this to work, though. Not a huge fan of that. Okay, let's take that. Okay, and here are double side rooms. I like that. Now, do these count as encounters for the purposes of our Medea boon? Because if so, that would be incredible. I don't believe they did, but we'll take a little bit of bonus life. No. Rude? How dare you force me to block again? Okay, well, we are about to heal, I suppose. Why is that a different color? Is that max life, but not going to give us the... Oh. Yeah. gave us increased max life, but we don't immediately receive the life. We would need to heal to get it back. But I was about to say, we are pretty close to using the health pool fountain right over here. One more room, and oh, okay, we're not gonna mess this one up. I think he's dead. That is what we ought to have done, and what I meant to do that other time when we wasted one of our blocks. Oh. Like how we were hitting Heracles there.
To regret it. Happens all the time. Ought to be quick.
Nice try, Heracles. Not gonna happen, buddy. Nope, he's mine. He's mine. Oops, I got a little distracted. Also, we should do this, probably. Oh, never mind, I don't have enough for that. Also, you're hitting me with these other attacks. Okay, I think we did get a lot of kills there. Or at least of the marked variety. We did take some damage, but again, I think we're going to heal basically all of that off, so I don't really think that's an issue. Blowing through the golly blocks is more so the thing that would have been nice to have had for Polyphemus, but realistically, I mean, yeah, are you gonna take those blocks into the boss fight at the end of a room, or at the end of the floor? You would like that to be the case. Probably not gonna happen very often, although on the first floor, yeah, it probably is your best chance, at least. There's the bonus monies.
Word is the Fates themselves are gone. Too bad. I always wanted that job for myself.
Whoa.
Not that they could be killed.
You always wanted to kill the three Fates for deciding you'd become a great hero of exceeding strength whose achievements would inspire countless others?
Yeah, that's a little crazy there.
Certainly, if not for them, I wouldn't be here. Well, now they know what it's like, getting strung about with no say in the matter. The Fates be damned. Justice is all we need.
If you say so. Also, before I forget, I swear, that was harder than it looked, okay? We have a lot of gold at this point, though.
Of late, even my radiant young sister must sully her delicate hands in all the field work that must be done. She is even beginning to take to it. Aren't you, Hera, our queen?
Duo boon on the first floor, perhaps? And I do not think we've seen one between these two yet.
These hands have seen more than you know. I simply do not flaunt the hardships I've endured. One can be as strong as a rock without taking on its texture.
Alright, well, what do we have here? Your keepsakes are stronger this night, if possible. Wait, no! Bonus keepsake ranks +1 if possible, but if all of our keepsakes are already ranked 3, then it doesn't do anything! What the heck? I assume that means it can't reach a mythical rank 4. Man. That stinks. At the moment, at least, this does, it seems, nothing. And then it would require that we change to keepsakes that are not fully leveled on later floors, which maybe one, possibly two of them, that might have been the case, but I think we'd kind of be forcibly taking a keepsake that we would not have otherwise chosen. So, I legitimately think we do not want to take this, and I don't even think it's close, is the crazy thing. The freeze duration is fantastic. I wish this was a little bit higher rarity, but it's not a bad backup plan.
I see.
But I am quite disappointed upon seeing that, well, got my hopes really high up there when I saw we got a duo boon on the first floor, only to find, though, that it's not exactly the best one.
More lovers.
I thought that she said more lovers. Oh, that gives us a little bit of health as well. Okay, look at that. Not bad. Okay, so we did get some of those little bonus areas as well, adding up to the point where we got now 100 health, 125 magic.
I can get out.
Makes it much easier to spam the specials, which, I mean, yes, for long encounters like Polyphemus, that is still going to be a bit of an issue, but we shall see how we fare there, and this shop should be able to go pretty crazy here.
This was lovely.
Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Some of that. Golden urns, no. Don't need the healing. Aphrodite. And honestly, I think we would stand to benefit from this, at least in the short term. Long term, we may find that we're going to get so much magic that an extra 30 here isn't going to mean that much, but as I was just saying, getting that at least for this upcoming Polyphemus fight in the short term would be helpful. I think we nab this. And then we take this, and as I was saying before, if we could get the attack boon, I wouldn't say no.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see. Swap out our cast, no way. Attacks gain power, but we prime magic. It's the flat damage. This is good. It does not count as the primary attack boon, so we would still have the option of getting a primary attack boon from someone else. It does prime 20 magic. We did just gain 30 magic, so on net, we're still plus 10 magic. Costs us a little bit of gold to do that, but flat damage when we have such a fast attack, I think could be really good, and this flat 7 is going to get multiplied by whatever percentage we get when we do ultimately get an attack boon. So this is probably the best boon we... Well, this along with the straightforward Aphrodite attack boon would be the best one we could have theoretically gotten, probably from any god or goddess. Just that ideally it would have been slightly higher rarity, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Don't need the healing, still have a lot of gold. And now, fortunately, that means we can hit a little bit harder against Polyphemus, and we can even use that attack a little bit more.
Wouldn't you know it? So how is it over there across the drink? But it's been snowing. Sounds like a real rotten place to live.
Yeah, things aren't going so great.
What do you mean, Mount Olympus? The gods themselves quite like it. Enough to want to fiercely defend it from the Titan you decided to support. But yes, it's rather cold.
It is cold, and there is the whole war between Olympus, gods and goddesses, and the Titan. Or, Titan and
I could never
Typhon.
settle in a place like that. I like the temperature same way I like my meat. Nice and hot. Of course, I can also eat it raw. Can't be too picky and all that.
Alright, here goes nothing. Oh, he's not quite in range. Oh, that was silly. Doing the grab. Thought I was out of range of it, but apparently not. I was just missing the cast. There we go. One of the challenges with Polyphemus in the past has typically been getting enough range to deal with him. Whoop. He has a lot of attacks. Whoop. That can only really deal damage to you, or are most dangerous at least.
Shamble sheep.
If you're up close. Okay. There's space.
Keep you busy.
Oh, I don't have enough magic for this. No! There's the freeze being really helpful. Oh, we can also now summon this guy. That's kind of an interesting option. Please don't slap the enemies. Please use your big attack that you're actually, you know, most notable for. Guess that's the other downside of getting a random, or it's not quite random, the enemy that gets summoned, but still. Come on, Fred. Lids, this is not Fred, this is Fred the Second. It's actually Fred the Sixth or something at this point. every time. It looks like that's something attacking me. Oh, what? Oh, did I walk into that poisonous sheep, and that's what I resisted? That feels pretty silly. Whoop. What you doing?
I hear you.
No, you don't. I wasn't doing anything.
Look, I'm wide open.
And you're not wrong.
The shape's no good.
And there's other phase. Guess we summon you. Ooh, hold on. That was almost pretty bad timing. These guys, freeze. Ooh, is helpful for sure. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. Sure, we just defeated one of those guys. I walked straight into that. The resist is helping. Wait for it. I mean, I could have probably just dashed through that, to be fair. Hello.
That meat's gone bad.
Spread out once more. Do this one. Oh, or not. Resist that as well, I guess, while we're at it. Come on. There we go. I think we're on full life. Yes, the resistances definitely helped. I mean, that's why we wanted to take them, but
Lights out.
not bad. Getting more magic, and eventually magic restoration, would definitely still be helpful, because, as we kind of expected, still could only use the charge special once or twice. Fortunately, okay, we don't even need this.
Reagent located.
Oh, why,
All
thank you.
yours, Golly. Nicely done.
Let's see what we have here. Don't need that right now, but in 6 encounters, I mean, that's a long time. We still have a fair bit of monies. I might get all these, to be honest with you. I think I will. And then, as I was saying before, this was already rank 3, so I assume it wouldn't have been possible for us to upgrade it further. As for what we're going to take on this floor, that's maybe a bit of a tough question, because at the end, we'd expect to use probably the Luckier Tooth. That's already rank 3, so that wasn't going to benefit from getting upgraded. Moonbeam, we'd probably like to take at some point as well. That could be a now type of thing, in which case that also wouldn't benefit from getting an extra rank. And possibly Beautiful Mirror, now that we have Aphrodite Precedent. She should show up, but more so for the upgrades here. That would be good if we were to get her attack boon. It's just that, percentage-wise, obviously, yes, that's really good. The question is, you know, that only gives the bonus if you're in close range, and this is not... It's kind of a medium range attack. It's not long range, but it is... If we're on the edge of it, then it's probably still outside of where Aphrodite boons give the attack bonus, the damage bonus. So, from that standpoint, we may have actually already gotten the best Aphrodite boon for us, the flat damage booster, and the percentage one we'd actually prefer to get from someone like, maybe even Hera, or someone entirely different. I'm not sure. So maybe we take Moonbeam now, and then next floor, if we make it through. Can't guarantee ever that we're going to beat Eris, but we go Moonbeam here, make it faster for us to get the duo boon from Selene, and then that means maybe we pick up a good attack boon on this floor, just randomly. If not, then we have a little more of a sense of what we have working for us to figure out what we want to do to fill in the gaps with a boon giving god or goddess specific keepsake. Okay, so we already have that. I think we carry on then.
Next.
Okay. The little things for us to pick up here. No, doesn't look like it. There may have been some things that were rebalanced on this floor, some enemies. Again, they included a list of them in the patch notes. but they listed them by name,
Be gone.
and I don't necessarily remember every enemy's name, so that does make it a little harder to know. Sometimes the descriptions were such that you could kind of tell. Okay, so we do still have a decent bit of gold, and even if a shop did show up almost immediately, we could purchase most, if not everything, from that shop. So I think the gold, we can pass on that. Getting the Selene would be big, because that means we can immediately benefit from this Moonbeam. Whereas sometimes in the past, we've been caught with a Moonbeam, but no way to actually use it. For a while, at least. Do this. Yeah, like those spear projectiles look way slower, and they might also have less range, and those were one of the big enemies that would frustrate me in the past on this floor. Because they would just off-screen you, and there was... You just didn't see the projectile even, oftentimes, by the time it hit you. And that doesn't feel good.
From the heavens themselves.
Okay, so we have 10 to work with, which means we can get this. It's Hera. And we definitely have not seen this. Your Hex can be God-sent. Your servant is 25% faster and has a plus 30% critical hit chance. Interesting. So yeah, I don't know if we've ever taken this Hex. If we have, it was very early on, and I don't know if we upgraded it much, if at all. So let's see. That is obviously something we'd like to get, but I don't even know what we should be thinking about here. After using Hex, deal more damage. Doesn't stack, but even just getting one of those... using a Hex once, and getting what might add up to be a few of those 5% damage boosters. Automatically charge up. Hex starts charged up. Thing is, we can only use our Hex once we've at least killed one enemy. So we could stack all the your Hex starts charged up upgrades in the world, and we still would not be able to use it immediately. It is possible to start with at least 80. Let's see what the big guys are down here. Raised servants take 20% of any damage you would otherwise have taken. I do like that a lot. Turns into a tank for us. Raised servants gain any after you take damage effects from your boons. We don't have any now, but that would be interesting, especially if that works alongside this. And this also does not increase the amount of magic that it costs to use the Hex, when usually the big upgrades do that. Raised servants fight for you indefinitely rather than expire. I mean, that technically means you... I guess they do have health, so they could still get killed, in which case you would have reason to re-summon them, but otherwise you might only need one Hex per room. So that's also intriguing. And with 10, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4... And if we went 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Okay, so we go straight for the big ones, we can get them. That means we'd have to pass on both of these guys. We'd be close to getting the other one. We'd need one more point to get one of these, just depends on which side we go for. C as a tiebreaker. What the pathing looks like. Raised servants deal more damage. Start with it charged up. More damage, deal more damage. Wow. Them deal 30% more damage. After using Hex, we deal more damage. What's this side look like? Charges up automatically. I mean, if we think we're going to have to only use the Hex once, maybe twice per room, maybe more against big encounters, but still, this automatic charge up is probably not going to be as big of a deal. Okay, so this side is a little bit more on the whole you deal more damage this encounter. Feels a little gimmicky to rely on our raised servant to deal a large chunk of damage, but I am, at the same time, kind of intrigued. Moves and attacks faster. Oh, didn't even see that. That is good. Oh, and that is also good. Okay, we might have some time before our next big encounter to upgrade this a little bit more. So I am intrigued. I don't think we want this. think we go here, 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 here. I do like this. However, it only becomes relevant at earliest with the Eris encounter. So, if we can get one more Selene boon in the meantime, then we can get some things that provide more immediate benefits. And also, we're talking about we might not need that many rounds of the, Oh, wait, hold on. I think I miscounted. We do still have one more. We can get this, or we can get this. Let's go for you.
Queen Hera shall be notified at once.
And I think it is still the case that getting one more Selene upgrade would give us a lot to work with. Would be pretty big. But even now... it is still very good. Whoop. And since we can use it immediately and still have it... Oh, wait! This is intriguing. Can he not break the shield? Or is his aim just atrocious? He deals 270 damage. His accuracy is horrible. Or he can... okay. You know... do we have automatic charge up on the Hex? I didn't think we did. But we may have taken it.
Change of course.
Okay. Well... I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. It is definitely, I think, going to be pretty gimmicky, but when it works, it seems like it could be really good. Okay, so this would give us a little bit of health. I think this gives us a little bit of magic. We're actually kind of... we haven't done much to boost our health recently. We have that boon that just keeps on giving us more and more magic over time, so I think we'll prioritize this. Also, I did not mean to do that. I hope that you still persist. You do. Okay, that's probably not the guy I would have preferred to put that on. Okay, you also had ridiculous range on your attack. So you're another enemy, the one in the barrel there with the sword. That would very much like to have been changed. I don't know if that's true, but I would like for that to be the case. Okay, let's just have our friend here demonstrate how effective he is, and alright, it worked. A little bit more life. Yeah, hold on a second. Did I get one that gives us automatic charge up? They take damage from us. That is really nice. We deal more damage after we... 15% more damage after we use it. That's legitimately pretty solid. Deals plus 30% damage. It has... oh, it has a critical hit chance. So that might be one of the reasons why we saw some big damage numbers. Okay, also move and attack faster. Okay. I'm not seeing anything that says the automatic... oh, we have a Arcana card. That's what it is. We have an Arcana card that's doing that. Okay. Are you... you are compellable.
Be not afraid.
There we go. Alright. Let's carry on. Drop this. Do this. Then we can do this. Ideally dodge you in the process. At least until you're armorless. Because otherwise you are a pain in the butt to deal with. Freeze you. It's the other really big defensive upgrade. And I think I'm going to deliberately summon one of you. Yes, as we were saying, we're getting a lot more magic. Magic is still really helpful. But if we were to palm, what would we upgrade? Again, this is where if we had gotten one of those attack damage boons, upgrading that would be nice. Can we upgrade this? We might be able to. Might even be our top choice. Otherwise... oh, freeze duration boon, I think would be our top choice, actually. Some of our other ones I don't think we can upgrade. This would probably be priority number one. Would we rather get this? Are we at the point now where 30 extra magic, even in the short term, is not that big of a deal? Debatable. You could still make a case for this. There are also some boons that give us bonuses based on our max magic. I can think of at least one from Hephaestus. I don't know if there are any of those types of boons from people who we currently have, because at least by the end of the run, that could be incredibly valuable. You know what? Let's do this. There, you're here. You're there. And you're dead. Then we're gonna summon you. Get him! Oh, what? Oh, I didn't... Oh, that was the end of the encounter. And that was our guaranteed... Or the delayed shop upgrade. Okay. So we still... I mean, we did just get some life from that. I would kind of still like to get a little bit more, though. And the palm... That is hilarious, the way that he's moving. The way he wobbles. Okay, I think we might still go for this. There is something to be said for having the palm early on enough that there aren't that many alternatives to our ideal option. It would have been very likely to have given us the one that we wanted. But even then. Okay, this might even be the penultimate room. Not 100% sure, because we've kind of been flying. Is there anything else in here? Any golden urns? Because we're just shy of 500 gold. Shouldn't really be a threshold. Yeah, we can take this, although we're on full life. It won't even let me. Alright, fair enough. Is this the penultimate room? Let's check.
The Black Flagship.
Oh, it is not. And it's a Trial of the Gods next. Ooh. Okay, so we can afford all these things. Bear in mind, given how this is not the penultimate room, that means there will be at least one more shop relatively soon, in all likelihood. I think we probably pass on you. We go boon, and we go magic. And then at that point, we still have a decent bit of gold, so even with the next shop, should still be able to get some things. Let's see what this is. It's Demeter, okay.
Humiliating that even our boons must be concealed, lest we risk revealing too much about our plans and defenses to our enemies.
Oh, no! Not again! It's rare, and theoretically you would think it would be good, but as we were saying, it's, turns out not so great after all, at least not for us. It is an attack boon over here, but as I was saying before, as the damage boosts go, this one is relatively low. So, we saw, I think Hera's was higher, so given the choice between those two, I would probably prefer Hera. Obviously, it does apply freeze, although we do have that already on our cast. It makes it very easy for us to get freeze. Is that still good enough, or I am considering using the reroll? I don't think we want this. This is just... I mean, it's a little bit of bonus damage, but it's not really enough to feel all that meaningful. So this is safe, but it's not ideal. I think we have two rerolls. I'm gonna reroll.
Let's see how this goes.
Naturally, we get the same thing, but worse. Barrier that stops one instance of damage per location, but we prime 15 magic. Honestly, I think we take it. We could get magic restoration, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. This is maybe not the best boon for it. We'd have to stand still, but even then, that's not horrible. Just let our summon do all the work for us while we regenerate our magic. No, I think we take this. And between that and the 3 blocks per encounter from Nitro boost, that's pretty huge. It does prime magic, but I think we're about to pick up even more magic, right? So even if we're spending a bunch of magic, we're still going to get even more as time goes on. And I think the rarity just affects how much it primes, so this is actually pretty decent value from that standpoint. So I think we take that. I think that's an okay reroll. There's the magic in question. So again, even after priming magic, we're still on net, coming out ahead on that frontier. And this could be a big room for us. A dangerous one at that, but 2 boons in 1 location. Okay. still need to decide what order in which to take them. Oh, I see that. Let's do it first.
The trap is set as steadily the princess waits.
Oh,
Come on out.
I was distracted by the voice line.
Squid?
But we still got it. Don't worry. Okay, so I always say this every time we go into one of these Trial of the Goddess but whichever one you make mad is obviously going to attack you, and I don't remember which one is worse. I feel like I remember Hera, when she gets mad, is kind of a pain in the butt. So, if I can picture one particular effect that I think is blue from an enemy that got mad at us. I think it was Hera, and it might have been the worst one, at least that I can recall. So, at least for that reason, I think I'm going to side with Hera. I don't remember what Aphrodite's thing is. In Hades 1, it's sort of heat-seeking projectiles that come after you, but otherwise, most of the enemies, or most of the mad gods and goddesses in Hades 2 just create a circle on the ground that is reasonably avoidable. Hera is kind of the exception there, which is why I think we take her. After we run out of magic... Oh, right, this is the Hera magic restoration one we saw. Cast damage any foes as they join the encounter whenever they appear. Okay, here's the thing. Our cast is from Demeter. It doesn't have that much damage. It does have the freeze effect. Does this apply all of the effects of our cast whenever enemies enter the encounter? Because if so, that is unbelievably good. If it is only the damage, it's not very good. Otherwise, we could take this. It's even more potential to prime our magic, although that's only when we run out. So at this point, we have enough magic going into the encounter that maybe we could get pretty good value from this, enough that we could recycle it several times over before we brick our magic bar altogether. So that might be what we go for, especially since it is the high rarity. We do see Extended Family. Again, it is low rarity this time, although we have probably one more boon-giving god or goddess at this point. I don't know if we had Aphrodite when we last saw that. We're starting to get a bit of a critical mass of water boons. And I think I remember the water boon infusion is incredibly good. I think that's the one that limits the maximum amount of damage you can take to something like 20. If you combine that with the various forms of immunity that we have in each encounter, we become incredibly strong defensively. So it's a little bit speculative there, but that does intrigue me as well.
Oh, don't be such a tease with me. When I bestow my blessings, take them graciously next time. But now...
Okay.
Don't hate me, Aphrodite.
Charge that up sufficiently?
She's angry with me now.
Oh, it is the heat-seeking projectiles. Okay. Confirm. See them. Those hearts. Those hearts are not friendly. Don't let them fool you. Oh, also I should do this. Which is fitting, given how this is. We chose Hera over Aphrodite, and Hera makes an appearance there. Ooh, okay, there are a lot of enemies spawning there. Not a huge fan of that. I'd like to get rid of you, please. Okay, a little bit pinned in the corner there.
Satisfied?
What was that? Oh. I didn't realize the encounter was over, because we still had this guy. He looked like an enemy, even if he has the large heart over his head. Okay, there's extra magic from the very early mini shop. So I forgot about that, but we'll take it. And then Aphrodite.
Now let's just simmer down and still the beating of our hearts. I'm not angry anymore, though still a bit annoyed.
Okay, let's see. Whoa, well. It is very hard to turn that down. Oh, this would have been incredible early on. And technically is still incredible when combined with the Medea upgrade. I assume that still affects it. Technically, it's what, 5 extra magic per room? Which, in that case, may get rounded down to 0 additional. Not sure if it would bump up to from 5 to 6. We probably need that to be a 20%. So maybe we pass on that. This honestly wouldn't be bad either, but, I mean, we can't say no to that. As I said, it's maybe not quite as good as it might seem, because we only get the damage bonus when we're right up next to the enemies, but we do have the freeze from Demeter, and we do have the immunity several times per encounter, which, even if we do get hit, means, okay, you know, we might not actually take damage, so I can mitigate some of the risks that we would otherwise be a little bit concerned about with Aphrodite.
You again.
You again, indeed. Yeah, I think the damage might be insane. Okay, so again, life. I think the bones give us magic, but it might be armor, in which case we definitely would prefer life.
This way.
It's just a relatively marginal amount.
Love a messy breakup.
Whoop! I almost dodged into that. Go get him, spear dude!
Hold still.
Get him, spear dude. Right, those are our spears, don't worry. Oh, there are more enemies. Okay, hold on. I got a little caught off guard by that. It is, admittedly, and I've already said it a few times, but especially in this encounter with a bunch of enemies in it, it gets a little confusing. Who's on our team, who's not on our team, whose projectiles are friendly, and whose projectiles are going to deal damage to us. At least when we choose an enemy like this who does deal damage with projectiles. No more max life. Okay, and yes, this is now the penultimate room, the shop we were expecting to see. We do still have enough gold here that hopefully we can pick up some decent things. Despite having spent recently, we are not really constrained by gold. Do have the option to take the armor. I'm pondering whether that is worth doing. I feel like it probably isn't. I know it's only 40. We are about to go into one of the encounters that has caused us the most trouble in the past. But I feel like Palm plus Aphrodite is good enough that we feel okay about that. We might Palm first, since we do already have some boons we really like. I'd like to increase the chances of us hitting on one of those. Except we didn't really get one of them. I mean, the special, not really using as a primary source of damage. I'm using it initially to set up the attack. But that's pretty much it, or whenever I'm about to go into a string of attacks. So it's not a huge deal to get the bonus damage on that. This may not look like a huge deal, only meaning that we prime 2 less magic. However, it's every time we recycle it when we fill our magic bar and then prime a little bit to get it back. Or when we spend all of our magic, we prime a little bit to get it back, at least for that encounter. Since that can happen multiple times per encounter, especially in long boss encounters, that could add up to be a lot more than 10, or a lot more than 2 prime magic. It could be something more along the lines of 10, depending on just how many times we're using all of our magic. Otherwise, the hitch effects deal additional damage. Hitch right now, that is also the special. Okay, so one way or another, the game really wants us to improve the damage on our special. I mean, that's 10%, this is 15%. This would potentially affect other Hera effects, whereas this is specific to the special. I mean, we don't have any other Hera effects at the moment, but that may be subject to change if we were to get a Hera dash. That's pretty much the only way we could make that happen. Unless maybe a Hera duo boon of a different variety might also do that. So I think we might actually... I'm gonna do this. It's a bit of a short-term play, specifically for this encounter, since we might have to blow through our magic a few times against Eris. As time goes on and our magic continues to grow, it's probably no longer going to be that meaningful, but that's okay. Overall, I think not a great palm. Okay, we could get the dash boon from Aphrodite, which would inflict weak, which would be another way to improve our defenses. deal more damage, deal 5% more damage when we have at least 80% life. That's a 10% damage boost. Every time I see this, the numbers just don't seem big enough to be all that meaningful to me. I know it's across the board damage, which is kind of nice, but especially when it's just normal rarity, it just doesn't feel good enough to me. I think we do this, because we are definitely going to use a lot of magic at this point. And that's not insignificant damage. Alright, so we've had our troubles with Eris in the past. See how we fare this time.
Trouble?
Indeed.
Wait, so Prometheus is supposed to be in charge where the real action is? Thought he was busy getting pecked to the brink of death over and over by some bird.
True, and yet, for some reason, now he's best friends. He's best buds with that bird.
I can attest he and that bird have come to terms. Come on, have pity on me, Eris. I have to deal with fire and feathers here and again at the top of Olympus.
That's true.
That is a pretty good appeal, babe. But unfortunately for you, I don't have a heart.
Oh.
So come on, here comes your first helping of fire and feathers for the night.
Okay. I cut her off a little bit, sorry.
Ooh,
May have blown through some of our
Reloading.
immunities for the encounter, but I think we dealt a whole lot of damage there, so I think it was still worth it. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. As long as I don't eat that. Nope, never mind. Away she goes. Fortunately, we have this. Where'd she go? Okay, it does also mean I can summon you. I don't know how I feel about that being our familiar, our friend. Might be good, it might be bad, I'm not sure. Oh, she's mad now. Okay, I honestly didn't even realize she wasn't mad before. Oh, yeah, that's one of the skills that annoys me, because it has way more range than that icon would suggest. Oh, okay, she got mad. Oh, but also our familiar absorbs some of the damage we would otherwise take, which is pretty nice. Oh. Oh, okay, run. That has killed us before. Oh, she ran away. She ran away. Like a baby. And she is down, and I do not think we took damage. That was in large part because of those immunities we had. But at the same time, we'll take it. Oh, what was that sound effect? Excuse me? Also, again, the enemy, or the familiars, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, Golly is our actual familiar. The summon, whatever you want to call it, looks just ridiculous with the extra speed. Alright. So it's working so far. And we opted not to take that upgrade for Selene, the one that allows us to use our God-sent Hex multiple times in the Guardian encounters, in part because we got the bonus that allows the familiar to stay indefinitely, at least until it loses all its health, and it didn't lose all its health, so that is an encouraging sign as well. Sign that maybe that was the right choice. Okay, we can get armor, we cannot afford that. Oh. Darn it, wait, are there any golden urns here? That would be nice, and we're kinda close to being able to afford it. Oh. Darn, what was the other one? Even more magic? I might take it, to be honest. I wish we had enough for this. That would potentially be big. It could be that we're getting to the point now where extra magic is fairly meaningless. I mean, I basically did not look at our magic at all in that previous encounter. It might have recycled once with our new recycling boon, but now that we have that, it's even been upgraded a little bit. And we have enough magic that even if we do take a little bit more of a prime penalty, we're still probably okay. I think we are pretty okay on that front. The one thing would be if we did see one of those boons that gives us a bonus based on how much magic we have, then that would be potentially unbelievable. If we might have 500 magic by the time the run is over. So, let's see. We are done with the Moonbeam. We have gotten the big boon we were looking for from Aphrodite, and that's why I didn't take the Aphrodite keepsake on the previous floor, because we got lucky, yes, but it means we no longer really need this, so we may not need any boon-giving god or goddess keepsake on this floor. Could potentially take this instead. Do we have any common boons that we would really like to see upgraded to epic? Do we have anything that's common? I think we've kind of been avoiding common rarity boons. Although it would give us a little bit of flexibility if I remember. If I remember that we have this, it would give us some flexibility to take a boon that we like, even if it's low rarity, and then we save you for the final floor. That's kind of what I'm thinking, unless we want to get really speculative and say we create Hephaestus precedent with the specific intention of getting that, what is it? It gives us max life based on our max magic, I think. I mean, that could be so good enough that it is worth taking our chances on that, even if it's fairly unlikely. It might be that good, just based on where our run currently stands. Otherwise, this is probably a little bit safer. There's a pretty high chance we're going to see... We're definitely going to see a common rarity boon. As whether we opt to take it and remember that we can get it upgraded later on, that's maybe a different question. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what else we'd go for. Tell me what you do. Honestly, we could. Honestly, we haven't used it yet, but when we don't really have much else that seems critically important, otherwise we could say, alright, we can take our chances on this even if it doesn't pan out the way we'd like it to. It's okay. So we didn't have anything that we desperately needed here. Is there anything else that gives us long-term benefits beyond just this wave? Wouldn't be the worst thing, I guess. Although, ideally it'd be upgraded a little bit more. Wait, you take 250 damage, your charge moves deal plus 20% damage. When you say currently 21, does that mean we've currently taken 21 damage? We've definitely taken more than that. Or we're currently getting plus 21% damage. If so, I don't know why it's rounding up to that. Random hammer upgrades, random chaos blessing. I don't know. This is a rare luxury that we have right now. I cannot remember a previous time when we found ourselves in this situation. I might go Fig Leaf. The only reason why I'm a little hesitant to go this route is because we were talking about using this floor as a good barometer for what, if any, balance changes have happened to some of the annoying enemies. I think we have already seen some of those changes, to be fair. But skipping a room altogether... Single encounter in this region. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Give it a shot. Of course, we'd probably like for that room to be fairly late on. Or at least not this very first room, and clearly it is not this very first room. Do what I did in one of those previous gimme encounters and somehow find a way to take damage, even when it's basically an auto-complete room. Okay, so as I was saying before, are we at the point where magic no longer makes much of a difference for us? We might as well take... We did spend gold fairly aggressively. We had to start compromising a bit on that, so maybe we do go this route.
Sappers.
Okay, definitely landing there. That just sounded like The Kids Aren't Alright by The Offspring. That sound effect, I swear. If you know that song, then I think you would agree. It was uncanny how much it sounded like that when they spawned in.
A gift.
Okay, let's see. Ooh. Hermes versus Aphrodite. We've kind of already gotten the really big Aphrodite stuff we were looking for. Not only this, but also that. I mean, there's a chance we could get an ultimate or a duo boon from Aphrodite. That could be good, but Hermes is also so good so often. So this is more of like a take a shot on getting a really high rarity boon. This is more of a you're likely to get something that's at least decent. Safer, higher risk, high reward. Let me just... I saw that. Is there anything else in here? No. Okay. Let's go Hermes. Played a little bit safe here. I'm not really sure we have that much to gain. We're going Aphrodite in that situation. Thank you. Does that count as freezing them as well? Oh dear. It's our eagle buddy. I don't even see any other enemies. I was gonna say, yeah, at least give me some enemies that I need to kill so that I can end this encounter. To avoid eagle dude. Oh, also.
Behold the Queen's wrath.
Indeed. Eagle versus eagle? I mean, technically you're not an eagle, but you know what I mean. Thank you.
As expected.
Very nice. As expected. As for what we get here... Foe projectiles are slower. We were commenting about this before. And we were saying that late on, against some of the more difficult bosses, like Typhon, that could be very helpful. Otherwise, we can dash more frequently. We gain dodge chance based on the number of boons we have. I know it's only normal rarity. I wish it was a higher rarity. Oh, but it could get upgraded, except we didn't take that one. No, this would have been a perfect target for it. Because at this point, we do have a lot of boons. So even if that is a low percentage per boon, let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a boon. 5, 6, 7, 8. Not a boon. 9, 10. 11. Does that count? I'm not sure. Might only be 10, in which case... That's still not... well, it's 5% dodge chance. It's something. It will occasionally activate. But I think at that point, having foes' projectiles be 50% slower might, or allowing us to dash more frequently, might equate to us avoiding more damage than this would. Let's try this.
Little spring in my step.
I think that's a big enough number that could be significant, even if that might have otherwise been something I was not usually all that keen on. This is a little bit tough, to be honest. Hammer has crazy upside, crazy potential, but we still been picking up a little bit of life every now and again, but it feels like that might be the one thing that we could still stand to benefit from getting more of. I mean, we do have a lot of layers of defense. Maybe that can make up for it a bit. I guess we take this. This is obviously rarer. There we go. Okay, that's the fig leaf. It has a disco ball as well. As soon as we walked in and I didn't see any enemies, I was like, oh, is this going to be the room? We get the sound effects as well, the music. Oh, that's great. Okay, so it's a free hammer. In that case, we'll take it. Let's see. Specials have plus 30 power, flat 30. But we take minus 30% damage while using them. Well, we charge up our special usually. So that damage reduction, honestly, might be more relevant. But as I was saying before, the damage itself, it's mostly a setup move, not so much a direct damage source. Your specials fly faster and deal 15% damage for each foe struck. Attack, shoot 25% farther, and deal plus 25% extra damage. I think we do that. Yes, the extra range does potentially make it a little more likely for us to be out of Aphrodite damage boosting range, but we're still getting, even in that case, we're still getting at least that 25% damage boost, and we don't have to be at the maximum range, so I think this is still, for sure, what we want.
How's that for you, Revol?
Okay. Oh, you even see the remains of the enemies that went down in the process? Okay. Is there any golden stuffs hiding around here? Okay, so now the option is Demeter or it's a palm. Demeter, at this point, we also have most of the big things from her, although legendary, duo boons, again, ideally, not of the variety that you've been giving us thus far, but could still be helpful. Otherwise, palm, Getting Flutter Strike upgraded would be probably priority number 1. That could still help us a lot. Oh, that's a mini-boss, though. I didn't notice that at first. I think might play it safe here. I think we're strong enough that maybe that's not a huge factor, but still. Oops, I missed. That's our projectile. That's their projectile. That still has way too much range. Maybe that got changed, but it does still feel like that has way too much range. I think they might have reduced the duration of that. These guys, I think I read, no longer have a fire attack. Well, never mind. I take it back.
They wish they were never born.
Oh, this guy could be insane. This guy could be absolutely busted as our summon. Take him out. This will just demonstrate how overpowered those enemies are. There you go. He just immediately demolishes everything. Okay, there is Flutter Strike. 25% bonus damage. Freeze duration is not bad, though. Especially, we had at least one previous run in which we upgraded this enough times, even after the diminishing returns. It was just so crazy where we could basically perma-freeze enemies. So I am a little tempted to go the route. If we didn't have Flutter Strike as an option here, then I would probably take that. But, oh, this as well. I think we were running pretty low on because we used most of it, I think, to upgrade this weapon. Okay, so now mini-boss Zeus, who we don't have at all yet, or gold. We did take a gold room before, so we're now doing a little bit better on that front. We can probably purchase everything from the next shop already. If not, we're pretty close. But I do like how we're still on full life. That would be really nice if we could keep it that way, or at least something like that. I don't know if you can get the Fig Leaf Keepsake activating in a mini-boss encounter, but that would have been incredible if it did. It's obviously no longer possible now that we've already gotten it to activate on this floor. It's a one-time thing, but I think we'll still go for this. It means if we do get multiple shops or a mini-shop at some points on this floor, then that becomes an option. Now we can summon you, which I definitely would like to do. He's the mini-boss version. Yes, oh my god, he has the little skull next to him. He is insane! Oh my god. I don't know if that actually means he is stronger, or if he's functionally the equivalent of the base version of these spinny dudes, but I don't know if it matters. Because that was ridiculous. And remember, we still could stand to benefit more from upgrading Selene. We've not seen much Selene as of late. Right on cue. Is this the penultimate room? It's close. It might be. So, I think the penultimate room is usually like 42? In which case, so if it is not the penultimate room, meaning there would still be another shop after this, we have enough gold now that is still okay. We could probably still get aggressive and purchase almost everything, if not everything, from both of those shops. But as I was just saying, on the Selene side, there was at least one other... well, with 1 point, we can get the super version of our Hex one more time in boss encounters. Didn't matter for Eris, didn't matter for Polyphemus, it survived all that time anyway. However, against Prometheus... oh man, if we summon someone before the memory phase, there's no way that guy is going to remember to dodge the waves of fire. So it probably would go down in that situation. And then Typhon, the fight is long enough that it would probably go down. Typhon, I feel like you have there are enough different types of ads that get spawned in that there's some risk that you might summon one of the weaker enemies the first time round, and then it's like, oh man, that stinks. Huge missed opportunity. Whereas, you know, if we got someone like this, that'd be amazing. That guy's obviously not one of the potential options on Typhon's floor anyway, but so one more time against bosses. That's just 1 point. Then there's the other big upgrade, which allowed... was it our dash boon? Allowed our minion to use the dash boon, which we currently do not even have. So, and we would not be able to get there, I don't think, with just one Selene room. I think it would require at least 2. So, I don't know. I mean, the Hex is incredible. It's been doing serious work for us. I have been very impressed. Some of that, of course, I imagine has come from the Duo Boom, but whatever it is, it's been getting this guy going. He's been carrying pretty hard, so maybe we do try this. It might be a free room. It might be the penultimate room. It is not, though. Okay, I think that's actually a good thing. That means we do still have the option to get a shop. I'd like a pet dragon. I wouldn't say no to a pet dragon. Probably wanted to be a little bit closer than that. Now we can summon a pet dragon. Ooh, although those guys would have been good too, obviously. Go, dragon boy! Oh my god! Take him out! Get him! You can do it! Okay, now it would help if you hit. There we go. That is usually the biggest problem, is just if we have enemies that have a little bit, moves that don't, directly target enemies, they might miss. Or there's a projectile that needs to travel. Okay, so we have 3 points. This is what I was talking about, the extra 1 use in boss encounters. Otherwise, we can get halfway toward, more than halfway, toward this. No, it's the revenge boon that it does, and we don't have one of those either. So that's honestly not that big of a deal, at least not right now. If we were to just make our way in that direction, after using our Hex, we deal more damage, or Hex charges up automatically. I don't think that's a huge deal. We already have a little bit of that from our Arcana card, and that's been enough. So, don't really need it to be charged up. Start of the encounter, so I think we take this, the bonus damage, and then the servants deal 10% more damage, which is kind of nice. We could get either the 5% extra damage after we summon, or get the extra 1 per boss encounter. I think we take that, then we go, we deal bonus damage, minion deals bonus damage.
One with Selene.
Oh! Oh! Okay, we've not seen much of Dionysus. Obviously, we took his keepsake this time round, and it did pay off for us. I think we do go that route. Otherwise, I mean, as I was saying, we skipped a shop, so we should be doing fine from a gold standpoint, at least in the short to medium term.
About our mothers. This is polite company we're keeping. That's a naughty subject for a different sort of feast, you know.
Oh? Excuse me?
Look who's here.
Hello.
That fig leaf you're carrying, it's from my private wardrobe. So how come you have it and not me? What, did I just hand it over as a gift?
Indeed.
You did exactly that, yes. I offered you a bottle of nectar, and you gave me this leaf in exchange. Don't you recall?
Oh, don't I recall? Sometimes, but not always, not so much of late. Well, if past me thought he should give you such a thing, he must have had a real good feeling for you, yeah?
Alright, what do we have here? Give up all of our gold now. After vanquishing the next Guardian, we gain that much more. So, kinda stinks because we are about to go into a shop after this. It might even be the next room. So that means we wouldn't be able to get anything there. Then we would have bonus gold after defeating Prometheus, which means we could get aggressive in the super shop at the very end, if we get that far, but that is saying something. So I feel like the timing is not great there, even if that is a lot of gold to be gained. Charge moves inflict hangover the first time they strike foes, which makes them take 100 damage every half second for 4 seconds. Wow. And our charge moves, that kind of works well with what we're doing with our charge special. As I was saying, although we're only using it every several seconds, that does add up to a lot of... It's good for a move that you just use once, and then it might be 4 seconds or more until we use it again. Otherwise, we get the Grape Juice, which gives us plus 100 power on our next move. But we've taken this once before, I know, and it was a little distracting to the point where we took some damage we probably ought not to have taken. So I think we go with a Drunken Stupor.
Enjoy.
And I did notice this too. I'm curious if he doesn't have unique fish in his area, does he? Because this is a pool that we're fishing from.
Prepare, fishy.
Everybody just give her a moment.
Yep. Oh, one. Oh,
Caught out.
there we go. Oh, that's a normal one.
Another fillet.
Nothing unique about that, but
Nice.
that's alright. They have fish in the pool. You know, that maybe would be some cause for concern, but that's okay. Alright. Oh, we are not going straight into the penultimate room. We could either get a palm, where it would probably still be Flutterstrike we would prefer to see get upgraded. It would get slightly diminishing returns at that point. So maybe you could justify the freeze boon, wherever it is. Somewhere over here. Upgrading that to increase the freeze duration. Or you go Demeter, and maybe you get something else. Potentially of the freeze variety. So, you know... I guess we'll try this.
Now anybody need another round?
Grab that real quick. Mini shop. It's very late on this floor, so whatever we pick up would only arrive at the very end of this run, in all likelihood. Oh, I don't remember who I got most recently. You? I may have picked a bad place to summon you. I may have immediately gotten him stuck. I appear to have... There we go. Alright, he's back in business. Get him! There we go. Okay. We'll nab this.
Hear me, on my authority.
Oh, okay. Freeze affected foes. Oh, look at all this stuff. Wait, everything is great. Oh, this is the infusion that I was talking about. Okay, hold on. All these things are incredible. After remaining inactive, we get the magic restored. This one I think we pass on. I like our magic restoration boon. The legendary boon, freeze afflicted foes, shatter at 10% life, dealing damage in an area. That does help mostly with area of effect, getting some damage with large groups of enemies. Less so against big bosses, unless they have a bunch of adds that they spawn, in which case that could add up. But this I think is ginormous. I think we might have to take that, because we do already have enough water boons for this to activate. Whenever we would take at least 20 damage, take... Oh, I thought that used to be a hard cap on... Maybe I just misread it in the past. Otherwise, it may have been reworked. It may have been nerfed, because I think it may have been absolutely incredibly overpowered before. We take 10 less damage from big hits. So, originally, I thought it was a hard cap. At most, you take 20 damage from each hit, which, especially against Typhon, who his big slam attack dealt something on the order of about 100 damage. So that was unbelievably powerful, basically cutting his damage in a fifth, if not somewhere around there. It's a lot worse than that, mathematically, if that was in fact how it worked before. It would be better against smaller hits, or at least not as bad against smaller hits. Obviously, 20 damage would be the ideal number to get hit, then that gets dropped to 10. But I was thinking it would be this as soon as I saw it pop up, but now upon closer inspection, I think you could make a strong case for either of these. Is it Earth Boon? It's not like we're about to get Earth Boon infusions. Feel like we take this still. Feel like we still take this.
The will of water.
And then this will be the penultimate room here. We have 644 gold. Just see if there are any more golden urns, because there is a mini shop here. The encounter delay is a big deal, because at this point we're talking about stuff that is only going to show up at the very end of the run. So unless you could make a very strong case for paying the extra bit for them to get delivered immediately, and these may be good enough for that to be worthwhile. So you know what? I think that is exactly what we're going to do, and we should still have enough money to still get aggressive in the next normal shop. That is expensive to make it appear immediately,
Rush delivery
but
on this.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Use this right now.
I think that is still the case. If we might be able to afford everything, if not, it should be close in the next shop.
From me to you.
Oh, that's not who I wanted to see.
Thought I'd say nice knowing you, dearie. Not that we're going down without a fight, but just in case. We barely beat him when we first settled up with Kronos way back when. But now he's grown a lot.
Yeah, because we didn't have anything with you before. We get the cast targetable now, with extra damage initially, which is... but it gives it more range. Sometimes, especially in boss encounters, when you're trying to place it quickly, you can miss, which doesn't feel good. Otherwise, foes perish in a blast that damages any surrounding enemies? Wait, what? This is basically the effect of the legendary boon that we just saw, except it always triggers? It always triggers. It's 10 less damage. I mean, it's basically the same amount. Except, in this case, they don't need to be frozen. It's just any enemy that dies. That seems unbelievably good. Let's take it.
Flame of the hearth.
And then here, now, this is key, because with 3 more, it does mean, I know we don't have a revenge boon yet, but maybe we still take that, and this upgrade, because we can almost pick up everything here anyway, so maybe and many of the ones remaining are not that meaningful. So if we go here, Raise Servant deals even... oh, we haven't taken this yet. Okay, so it will require all these guys. We deal more damage. Servant deals more damage, and then it would have either been... yeah. The alternatives would be having it charge up either more immediately or more quickly over time, and those are also things that we don't feel that concerned about getting, so I don't feel very bad about taking that one, even if it does not yet do anything. It does have some potential, and it means potentially in this, which I think will be the penultimate room, any boons we get here, we may want to try to target revenge boons, and we get a little more gold. Oh yeah, we can already afford everything here, and then some. So we take this.
Why, hello.
Hera. Duo. Oh my god. We've seen this duo boon 3 times. And I will continue to turn it down because, okay, sure, it would affect the keepsake that we have currently equipped. Except it's already activated on this floor, so it's not doing anything at all right now. Otherwise, damage all hitch-afflicted foes when we slay a hitch-afflicted foe. That's not bad. Hitch is currently just coming from the special we were saying earlier, with other hitch-related synergies. The dash boon would be the other way we could pick it up, so that would be here. I don't love that you need to run straight into... you have to make contact with them, which is generally not something you want to do. You want to run past them, or dash through them, not necessarily sprint into them. But it might happen every once in a while. Maybe that's still worth taking, and then technically that gets us up to 4 fire boons, which I think that's the threshold where infusions can appear, and then usually 4, or rather usually 6 is the threshold where the infusions actually become active. So it might appear, but we'd need more fire boons for it to actually mean anything. So I'm not really sure that's a factor, but we'll go for it. Then again, we find ourselves with the question of to magic or not to magic. We don't have that much gold remaining at this point, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save here, and that hopefully means that if we get one of those mini shops in the room after Prometheus, assuming we defeat Prometheus, don't want to get too carried away here, but assuming we defeat Prometheus, then in that next room we might see a mini shop, and we can still purchase some things there, maybe even expedite the delivery, because otherwise they might just never show up. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Then for Prometheus? I think it's just more of the same here.
I thought you might show up.
The timing of the
Perhaps
hex
your
is going to be
so-called
tough.
Master Kronos wants for you to fail. To suffer more than you already have. He seeks vengeance on the gods for overthrowing him before, when you were their ally.
Oh, hold on.
I don't seek my master's forgiveness nor assume his loyalty. Alliances are born of shared goals, perhaps ideals. Whereas the gods and I are at cross purposes.
Okay.
Because they punished you for crimes you knowingly committed? What else could they have done after you deceived them and took from them?
I mean, it's a decent point.
I took nothing. Fire spreads, burns anything that stands in its path. The gods sought to imprison it, but I set it loose. Now at last, we each are free, and burning still.
Alright, bring it on, buddy. Projectiles are moving more slowly, don't mind me.
Stealing from members.
Let's set this over here. Oh, that was a little bit earlier than I would have liked. Out there. And out. Okay, we're gonna resist that. I still can't really read the difference between when that's a projectile-based attack and when it is. Ooh, when it's a projectile-based attack and when it's just a slam, a circular slam, which is kind of important. That one, that time, the game insisted on me going back over to him, even though I did not. Like, that one's the slam. That was not close enough to get the damage boost. Here? Oh, that was bad. That was just me trying to optimize where the flame went. Had to burn through a resistance in order to do that, which doesn't feel... Why is it doing that? That's the second time the game has insisted on moving my character in the opposite direction that I'm trying to do. I've never seen that happen before. And it's happened twice in this encounter in quick succession. That was off-putting.
I see.
Because while he was charging up his slam attack, no less, I think, on both occasions, I was like, okay, this is the last thing I want to be doing in this situation. Okay, that also, I don't know if it forced me to move, but it froze me in place. It's really weird. That one I think was just a slam, and I mostly just assume that because it's, he did the other attack recently. That one probably does have a projectile. No, it doesn't. Shows you what I know. Nothing. It's actually kind of interesting. That time around, since he was already close to the wall there, I made a point of going in a direction where it sort of cut off the attack, which is not usually something I've had the opportunity to do much of. You see now, without the help of one of our familiars, it's a little bit harder for us to do the crazy damage we had been doing in the past. Can't quite breeze through things as much, and as I said, he just doesn't summon ads for a while, but there was also the risk of him doing this and killing immediately. Middle, middle, top. Middle, middle, top. Now we're doing some ads pretty soon, I think. Ooh. Might have got the hitch on that one. I don't know what he just did.
Out of my sight. Legions, fire support.
Legions? Okay. This is not usually something I would be pleased about, but at the same time, it does potentially... Oh, that's just wasted. It does potentially allow us to do this. I think that could be a good enemy for us to have summoned. Because it's dealing, at least when it crits, 1,000 damage. Oh, that... Oh, goodness. I did not time that the way I wanted to. That's a very bad place to put that. Oh, okay, we're back to this. Bottom, middle, top. Bottom, middle, bottom, middle, top. I already forget. I think middle? No, it was not middle. And it was not bottom. Okay, so I definitely messed that up big time. But we do still have our friend here, which is very nice. And he is still doing crazy damage. And I don't know. Oh, did we resist because we were dashing? Because we've already blown through other resistances, obviously. We have taken damage. Well, there we go. Our minion killed him.
Repeatedly, but it always comes back. I shall never submit to you.
Okay.
Saw that coming.
Well.
For the realm.
Oh, he was also the enemy we needed to get for the bonus nightmare, which we did spend a whole lot of going into this match, so not a bad thing to pick up a little bit more of that. We did end up taking some damage from that. I think that was the only damage we took on this floor, which is pretty incredible. That's definitely the first time that's happened on Olympus. And most of that damage, in fact, it might have exclusively come from the two memory tests that I messed up. So we might still be able to heal all that off. It will be close. I think we might fall a little bit short, but then once we walk into a few more rooms, that might do just enough to get us there. So we do this.
That's good.
There we go. That's it. Okay, there is a mini shop. So as I was saying, I deliberately saved some money for that. We've not used any Death Defiances yet, so that's good. We have the Luckier Tooth, which gives us another one. And then here, we can get healing after 7 encounters. That's awkward timing. Because we saw this before. It might even been the last time that we got up to the summit, where we had a mini shop like this. We were looking at the timers and saying 7 encounters. Is that even going to deliver before the end of the run, or is this basically only ever going to appear if you expedite the delivery? Because if this appears right before the final fight, you know, that's pretty good timing in that case, but 7 encounters does make me a little bit nervous. Oh. It's relatively inexpensive. But the other thing is, I think we only have 3 points, or just about 3 points that we've yet to take for our Hex, and they are just about all things that give us quicker charge-up time, and I don't really think that's going to change much. There might be one that gives us 5% bonus damage once we've used our Hex. Is that reason enough to spend some monies here, and then Soul Tonic, again, you know, are those worth picking up at this point, or would we rather save? I think we're better off, probably in both cases, saving this money for the penultimate room, since the super shop at the end of this floor could give us a lot of things, and you can spend a whole lot of gold there, so this is a point where I think saving is meaningful. I'm hoping we have enough defensive layers at this point that Typhon and the mini-bosses leading up to Typhon will not be able to damage us as much as they otherwise would. Because that's a big factor. They deal a ton of damage. Our damage is quite good, especially if we can get those minions, although, let's see, the mini-bosses leading up to Typhon, I guess it depends which ones we get, but there are some of them that don't summon adds at all, so that means the Hex won't do anything in those cases, whereas Typhon himself does eventually summon adds, although I don't remember if he does immediately. And as I was saying before, he summons several different types of adds, so if we're really careful, really mindful, we can time it such that right after killing a powerful add, we use the Hex, that becomes the one that we summon, and that's much better than potentially getting a very weak add instead, and having to wait a long time, or I think we did get the Hex upgrade that allows us to use it twice with the God sent version in Guardian encounters. Okay, so if we whiff on the first Guardian, or it gets killed by Typhon, although that hasn't happened to any of them yet, so I don't think that's as much of a factor. If we whiff and get a bad minion that we summon in, then we can try again with this. But yeah, okay. The problem with that is if you spend a bunch of energy and focus on trying to time the Hex right after you kill one of the more meaningful adds, then that's probably going to distract you from many of the other things that Typhon is doing, because Typhon fight is very busy. A lot of stuff going on there. It may have been changed a little bit. Maybe a little bit easier now, but that remains to be seen. Okay. Hello. Thank you, Golly. I guess. Ooh, I guess we'll summon. Sure. Who's left? This guy. Okay, hold on. It can potentially still slam. And Golly is also giving us some other ways to avoid taking damage. Okay. Up we go. This is also where we're getting the slowed projectiles being helpful, except I might have still eaten those.
Onward.
It's a mini boss either way. Oh. Oh, we can't claim it because we would need more fear. Okay. It's a mini boss either way. It's Super Demeter or it's Super Palm. Super Palm, if it hits Flutter Strike, is helpful. If it hits... Okay, that could be a little bit helpful. If it hits Secret Crush, it's helpful. If it hits Cold Storage, it's helpful. Anything else, and it's probably not that helpful. I think if it upgrades this, it only affects how much it primes, which doesn't make that much of a difference for us at this stage. I don't know if this can get upgraded. Upgrades that. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I feel like... I don't know what new boons from... I mean, the legendary boon... Legendary boon, if we were to see it again, would maybe be the best thing. It is a chance of higher rarity here, but is that really something we want to rely on? It still feels like this is maybe a... Both of them are kind of high risk, high reward. They have a decent chance of bricking. I don't know what alternatives we would want from you, because we already have a lot of the main boons we would have liked. So, I mean, take your pick. Either way... Oh, we don't have a revenge boon. We want a revenge boon. If we can get your revenge boon, that would be ideal. Okay, this, I think, is the better encounter for us, maybe, because you do summon ads. We have less experience with this one. We do have less experience with this one, which could make this very tricky. But you do summon ads. Bad ads, at that, in all likelihood. But they are ads. So that means our Hex theoretically can do something. Which, in the other encounter, it would not have done anything. Okay, I'm going to use it. I think it's going to be one of these little guys who I imagine is not great to summon, although, oh my gosh, look at the damage. I don't know what just hit us, but I did see how much damage our buddy old pal was doing, and it was insane. He might have been killed. We're gonna bring him back, because these guys, their damage might be insane, but if he's weaker. Want to pop up in here, ideally? Thank you for obliging. That does... I might count as a projectile, in which case it is getting slowed. There we go. Alright. Not bad! We might have used more of our resistances here. Golly's blocks might be gone at this point, but we did not take any damage from that encounter, and that is saying something.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, that is the legendary boon. That is one of the things I was saying could be still quite helpful. Fear encounters random boon gains rarity. If we got this early, it could have been incredible. It is probably too late for it to be that useful. Charge attack deals more damage, but uses more magic. I am holding the attack button after we use the charge. Well, wait, does it even count as a charge special, though? Important distinction. Where is this? When we are on Valkyrie mode, your attack fires continuously, but you cannot use charge moves. I don't think it does anything. I am holding the attack button for the machine gun effect, but I think it does not qualify as a charged attack since it says in Valkyrie mode your attacks fire continuously, but you cannot use charge moves. So it's kind of not gonna do anything, I think. If we were to get 80% damage on it, it would be incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I think it does nothing in this case. So I think we will take the Oh no, we have to take the legendary boon. What a shame.
The foul brood of storm-bringing Typhon crawl through the growing cracks in the stonework of the Fortress of the Gods, as though to shake the mountain to its very core.
Best watch my step.
Well, you know what might have been one of the things that helped us deal that huge burst of damage? Was this. I'm realizing may have been the case. Because there were a lot of those little ads, and so they may have caused a chain reaction of explosions, and if those mini-bosses were caught in those chain reactions, then it would have added up to quite a bit, and we potentially now have even more chain reaction explosions happening when enemies go down, though in this case, they do already need to be frozen. I guess they technically don't need to be dead. They just need to be at 10% health, but okay. Okay. Just do a quick double check. I think we already got all the stuff in here. Yes. Okay. Let's proceed. Oh, I see that. Whoop. Okay, dodge through it. Dodge through it. I saw it coming, and we were quick. Do some fishing real quick. Oh, I fell for the bait. I fell for the fake one. Oh, I got carried away. That was silly. Oh dear. Alright, it was gonna happen eventually. I think that's the first one we've missed. Or maybe the very first time we did it. First fish ever. But alas. It was gonna happen eventually, as I said. Yeah, I think the slower projectiles are really helping us out on this floor. Even against these littler dudes. I was thinking about it mostly from a Typhon standpoint, but I think the little dudes as well. Okay, there we go. And now it is the other mini-boss. And at this point, as we were saying before, I think Selene is no longer that meaningful. We probably would prefer Hestia. It's high rarity Hestia. With one Hestia boon, it is actually quite good, as it turns out. I do not remember seeing this one before, but it may already have been helping us quite a bit. I don't really know what else we'd be looking for, but I think just about anything is better than this, and we don't know which of the mini-bosses we're going to get. I think we would prefer, what is it, the eye? Because it has a bunch of the ads, whereas the tail is one we have more experience with, but it doesn't summon ads unless you count those little explodey things, which I doubt would count. So that means the Hex would work much better against the eye, but here goes nothing. We don't know which one we're getting into. It is the tail, unfortunately.
There you are.
Unfortunately, this is not the one we wanted. Yep, you're doing the blast. Oh, it goes way slower as well. In fact, it doesn't even travel as far for that reason. That's incredible. That makes that very nice opportunity. Oh, hello. Don't mind me. Oh, we are not very fast. I'm realizing. slow you down there. Okay, hold on. Dodge you. Dodge you. Charge that up, and then go to town. Is this a blast? No, this is not a blast. This is you chasing. It might be... Oh, nope, not a blast. Slam. That works. Oh, no. This... Okay. Might have also been an opportunity to do that a little more aggressively. Let's get this now. Does explode those guys. I remember that. Do this. Do this. Now you're charging this up. Okay. You might be able to avoid it if you go all the way on the edge now. Oh, that was silly. Blocks left 0. Okay. There we go. There we go. This is going to be a slam. Dodge 1. Almost missed that. Dodge 2. I should have done this first. Missed opportunity as well. This is... Oh. Okay. So, this. This. Now it's slam. Dodge 1. Dodge 2. Remember to do this, then you do this. Then that gives you way more potential to stack up the damage. And now you're going to set up a blast. So if we go into the far corner, we might be able to avoid it altogether. But it's slow. Yeah. It just doesn't travel as far because we reduced the speed of the projectile. So that's cool. Ooh. Okay. Thought you were charging up a big one there. Dodge 1. Dodge 2. Charge this. We'd have to recycle our magic, but that's okay. That's what it's for. That boon. What are you doing? Okay. Gonna create the orbs, I think? Yep. Whatever you want to call these. Oh, that was bad. Slam usually comes next? Yep. Charging up a slam. Oh, it vacuum cleanered me in almost. Okay, yep, doesn't even reach us from here. That's cool. I wonder if that was just a change that they made with this most recent balance update, or if that is legitimately something that is coming from the boon that we got. And yes, I have noticed that there's this thing that we can harvest here, and I've just taken every ounce of will in my body not to pick it up during this fight. These guys. I will do that, and unfortunately, yes, ran the risk of you spawning one directly on top of me, which you did do. I could take a second to get a cast off there, get a little bit of damage over time from it, but I think just getting more of the attack thing is a lot more meaningful. Mathematically speaking, it does more unless the cast finishes you, as it did there. We did end up taking some damage, mostly from those exploding orbs that he creates, or whatever you want to call them.
Just his tail.
But
one of them.
Even with that being said, still probably one of, if not the best times we've, if not maybe this encounter alone, getting up to this stage on the summit. This is probably the best we've done thus far, having only taken this much damage at this point. Okay, it is once again the option of moving the cast for more range, getting a little more damage on it. I was surprised by how much damage it did there. Oh, maybe it was the explosion at 10% health. That's what it was, I think. So that's actually subtly very good. Deal more damage against foes that are nowhere near other foes. I don't think that's meaningful anymore. Yes, if we were to be in the Typhon fight and get rid of all of Typhon's adds, we'd have a 21% damage boost. Okay, you know, me, I was just kind of thinking that there would be adds a lot of the time, but I suppose, especially with some of our area of effect abilities now, maybe this could be pretty useful. Your charge special also launches a fireball, but uses more magic. Yes, it does give our charge special more damage, but the charge special, we kind of want to minimize the amount of magic that one costs, because that's the key one that we want to use as our setup skill, and we did have to cycle through at least once in that encounter there. Maybe twice? And Typhon, you would imagine, would take longer still, so might need to cycle through even more, and it becomes a little bit less efficient every time we have to recycle our magic, so I think we might pass on that. You know, I think it is this.
Adequate.
Because Typhon does not, I don't think he immediately summons adds. So that means at the beginning, we're getting some bonus damage, and then also, as I said, whenever we happen to get rid of all the adds, then we're getting a nice damage bonus. So we did take some damage in that encounter, obviously. We're going to heal up a little bit here. This, I think, is the penultimate room. Oh, that's dark and foreboding. Understandably, given where we are, but still.
It's everything. I'll leave you to it, Em.
Alright. And we cannot afford this. We have just shy of 500 gold, which actually... Ooh. Hold on. Wait, do we have just enough to get all the things we would want to get? So this is, what? 400 here, right? Across those two. We would like to get those, and then we have just enough for the healing as well, so we're topped off by the time we get into that fight. That seems pretty good. As we were saying, another boon from, another upgrade from Selene might be able to get a tiny bit more damage out of this, but I think we would rather heal up instead. And then the armor, that's 40, I mean, technically speaking. Oh, no, this is still slightly better. For a second, I was like, oh, the armor might actually be marginally better than the healing. I think we go Aphrodite first. She might have some things that improve the effectiveness of health upgrades. That's a Charon card as well. Ooh, chance to dodge based on the number of air boons we have, and it does not require that we have a minimum. We have 3 air boons at the moment, so that's a 9% dodge chance. Honestly, that's not bad. For a boon category that we don't have that many of, it's good that it still activates. We didn't have to reach a minimum. And this is the boon that I was thinking would make it more meaningful to take Aphrodite first. It unfortunately means... Wait. Does this work retroactively? Gain it now and for the rest of the night? Because if it does work retroactively, that is incredible. If it only affects the health upgrade we're about to pick up, then... Okay, it does do something, but it's not nearly as meaningful. Although, honestly, you could make the case. How much? It's a 25% bonus? It might be worth testing, especially because you could math this up. You could figure it out as to, you know, how much health 9% dodge chance is likely to save you versus getting a little more value off of the health upgrade we're about to pick up. This is probably still better if this only applies to the health upgrade we're about to pick up. If this does work retroactively, then this is probably better than Wispy Wiles. Maybe we try this and see. So we are on... Can you show me how much health we have? Yeah. We're 195. Does it immediately give us a boost? It does. Okay, so 49 extra health plus more here. I think that was probably preferable. Now we're up above 300 health, and we're going to still be able to heal all this off. And it gives us even more magic, too. We have tons of magic. So yeah, I think that was the way to go. Basically have perfectly spent our gold. We could have used one reroll, but I think we got the stuff we were looking for, so not an issue. And none of those are gold anyway, so I think we're ready to go here. Typhon... The biggest thing, I think, is, as we were talking about before, timing the Hex. If we can ideally get the Hex to summon a powerful minion, we've seen how effective that can be. I don't think Typhon summons adds immediately, so we might need to wait a little bit before that even becomes an option. But then once he does, I believe he summons several different types of adds, some of which are pretty powerful. So if we can get one of those, that'd be great. But the problem is, there are, I think, some weaker ones, and if we do get one of those... then, well, it's going to take some focus if I'm really trying to time it so that we get the right ad, and if I do that, then I might get distracted and get hit by some powerful Typhon attacks. So that's the risk, and given how strong Typhon is, that's a potentially significant cost. But at the same time, we have seen how big some of those good minions can be for us. And we have one we have the option, where is it? We have the ability to get one more of the Super Duo Selene boon. Here it is. Lineage. We can get the Super Godsent Hex twice in this encounter. So if we whiff on one of them, we can still try again. But ideally, we get a good one the first time, and then if it dies, we can then resummon it and get another really good one. But we'll see. We'll see. Here goes nothing. We do have a lot of damage mitigation as well, which I think could be quite helpful too. This Typhon hits like a truck. We don't know how much health he has, as a reminder. So that is one of his big attacks that does a bazillion damage, I believe. But the projectiles are slower, which does help. I don't know what he's doing. I think he makes fewer of those tornadoes, I thought I saw in the patch notes. He just loves using that attack right now. This is the big shotgun blast. Yeah, that one's at least used to be just about impossible to resist, seemingly. Yeah, it's odd, but I do want you to summon ads. Ooh, and that's the big slam attack. That tongue attack, whatever you want to call it, does a surprising amount of damage as well. This adds. The Zeus, this adds. And it creates the circle as well. I kind of didn't want to kill you guys before the eggs hatched, to be honest, so that we could actually get you to show up, because I do need to summon you. I don't think I can summon the egg. But I would love if you could actually die now, because, you know, other things are happening. Oh, I mistimed that. That sucks. That's not good. No, okay, I'm wasting all... This is exactly the situation that I was predicting. Okay, hold on. No! Okay, no, it is the big guy, at least. I thought it was going to be one of those little eyeball dudes. It's like, that would be such a big waste. He is doing huge damage, though, which is pretty clutch. Here is the Zeus phase. So yeah, I did end up taking more damage than I would have liked trying to set up the Hex. But hopefully, that will still pay off. I think we got a lot of value in there. I think we did. There's another potential ads phase. So I do like what we have. What the heck? I do like what we have going on now, though, with our ad. Oh, that guy's from the underworld. What's he doing here? Oh, I almost face tanked that. Go on, minion. Oh, that was a horrible place to stand, and now our immunities are gone, except Typhon is dead. No Death Defiance is necessary. We barely took damage. I think that was the first hit we took there. Wow. Possibly our most convincing run yet.
Down with Typhon.
Glory indeed. And turns out that Hex was incredible. At least, well, it's a little hard to know how much of it came from the duo boon, because we just had so little experience with that Hex, and it was a little tricky at times with some of the boss fights, because we did need to wait for them to summon ads, but once they did, oh boy, our minions were incredible. And we had all those forms of damage resistance, giving us immunities in the encounter, resistances in the encounter. They really added up, to the point where, you know, we were going through several boss fights, and it wasn't until the very end when we actually took damage. So pretty nice from that standpoint, and the damage wasn't bad either. A lot of it came from these minions. Yes, for sure, they dealt more damage than we did eventually, but when we did get the chance to use the charge special and follow that up with the machine gun attack, it was pretty good too. So I thought it's this resource and the other resource you get from defeating Kronos that is going to go away when I thought it was going to be, I thought it said as soon as you load in after the update, except we did not seem to have that happen. Maybe it'll be once we get back to the crossroads. I'm not entirely sure.
Much is required to subdue the hulking, furious progenitor of all the world's monstrosities. Courage, strength, agility, a lifelong training regimen from a great witch. Perhaps even a stroke of fate. This night, at least, the princess has it all.
Indeed. And yet,
Return to Shadow now.
we do return to Shadow. But I think that may only be our third ever successful Typhon run, so that is big. Although, as I was saying, with regard to the whole, I think we're going to end up losing those resources that you get from finishing a run, whether it be on the surface or down in the underworld. The purpose of that, I think, is functionally to make it so that you can't just farm up a whole bunch of those and then as soon as full release comes out, cash them all in and win the game, find the true ending almost immediately. So, I'm not sure how much of an important barrier, important threshold that really is to reach.
Good enough.
Get a full run in the early access, but psychologically at least, it's very nice, especially after having had a few runs that fell short and got a little frustrating, especially when it seemed like we had done everything we reasonably could do to try to give ourselves the best build setup. But hey, we tried some new stuff, new hidden aspect, and the Hex that we had barely, if at all, used in the past, and it was very good.
Mwah. We beat the father of all monsters, Phrynos.
We kissed the frog! Will he turn into a prince? Do we always kiss him?
Kneel before me.
I'm not sure that we do. We certainly lean in and say hello, but I'm not sure if we actually kiss him. We definitely gave him a smooch there.
Everlasting pain and suffering upon you, witch. You trespass on my hallowed ground. Your cries for mercy shall drown in your throat.
That's a good one, Dora.
Please, forgive my careless indiscretion, Madam Spirit. I beg of you. I intended no offense.
Oh, wow. You're really into this stuff, huh?
Oh, come on.
Alright. Can we brood? We can't brood? What? I want to brood! Alright. Well,
Let's have a look around.
let's have a look around. There's a chance people will have something to say after we did reach what, perhaps by other accounts, is still an important threshold, even if the crafting resource may not be here for long.
I wonder, did the weavings of the fates foretell that I would knock the father of all monsters down the mountain last night? He didn't see it coming, at least.
No, not as such. The weavings of the fates tend not to be precise in their detail, which I know can make them a bit confounding. But I salute your victory, Princess. I'd like to think that I foretold it, even if the fates did not.
You knew I'd vanquish Typhon.
I had a feeling.
Oh. Why, thank you. Yeah, well, there are no prophecies to cash in. No immediate signs of Eris or anyone at the fishing pier. Check elsewhere. Here either. Okay, fair enough.
Welcome, Lord Charon.
Charon's back. Hello, hello.
And you as well, boatman.
Indeed. Oh, shipment is arrived. And now here... Oh, yeah. Wait. What? Oh, this is what... I was like, why does this cost bones? I thought I was getting a shipment. No, that's because I was looking in the wrong place. Okay, so we did get Fate Fabric, which I think was for specifically one or two crafts that still require it, and it's a little hard to get unless you're going down into the underworld or getting this shipment here. That did come in a fairly large bundle. So is it worth saving up for more Nightmare? It may be. kind of close to getting there. Maybe we pass for the time being, and then... Okay, if we are to use bones, we have lots of Stardust. The Nightmare, we could afford it. We did just spend a whole bunch. We did also get one from defeating Prometheus on this run, so maybe we'll nab that. It does, obviously, mean that we're at basically no bones, but that's alright. We'll get them back eventually.
Princess.
Princess?
Fresh from the pot.
One moment while I pick up some morsels. Nothing new for us here. Prioritize a keepsake to re-equip it automatically. Oh, I think we saw this, but... I mean, it's a minor convenience. Don't really want to spend that much just for it, though. That's manageable, even without it. Similarly, same idea with this one. Basically, this is what I was alluding to. I think the game is deliberately going to get rid of our Z-Sand, and I'm surprised that we still have it here, so that we cannot use Dissolution of Time as quickly once the game actually gets fully released and the true ending is revealed. And it's just odd that... I mean, it's like the first line in the patch notes is it says you're going to lose your Z-Sand, and yet we still have it, so it's... I don't know what to make of that. It's odd. Would get more of the... Oh, right, the morsels also allow us to upgrade our familiars. That's another reason why we wanted to pick up more of these, so that may be why we were crafting that before, and it does cost the dust, which we do have a lot of from those trials, those chaos trials, and may get into more of those chaos trials soon, I suppose. But it's the nectar that we're lacking right now. I suppose we can do this again, because we don't have anything else that we're immediately looking to pick up.
This'll take a little while.
Your victories against Typhon, have you there anything to show for it? Any sort of specimens or samples of his flesh?
You see, we do, but that is also something that I think we might be about to lose, maybe from Hecate.
I hope you like hideous eyes, Headmistress. Is there an incantation that you have in mind requiring such filth?
Uh-oh.
Perhaps. Hold on to all of that for now. But when the time is right, we shall turn all that monstrous power back against itself, and rid this world of that fiend for good.
Okay. So that may very well turn into the Typhon equivalent of that Dissolution of Time, Kronos defeating recipe that we saw. I said uh-oh because we just committed to crafting those beast morsels, which, compared to some Typhon-related craft, would of course be far less significant, so would have opted for that if given the choice, but it sounds like we wouldn't have gotten it right now anyway.
Must have got a lot of help knocking Typhon from his perch. Oh, we all heard. You got a dozen family members all up there, some of them strong. So what do they need you for?
Well, I mean, we did successfully take him down, one way or another. Don't see you doing that, Nemesis.
They certainly are capable, but they're backed into a corner on Olympus. What matters is our latest battle was victorious, and I did what I could to see it through.
Sharing in your success, or just trying to appease me? Main reason you won is that monster had it coming anyway. But it'll all even out.
I'm sure it will.
What's that supposed to mean?
You'll see.
You're also a horrible friend who, you know, detracts from every accomplishment that we make and whatnot, and do it nonstop.
I encountered mighty Heracles on the surface. No mistaking him, though I thought he was dead. He seemed very much alive, on the outside anyway, and still in service to the gods.
Obviously, we've encountered Heracles many times before, but it may be that there were higher priority things for us to discuss with Odysseus before.
The great Heracles. That's a complicated one. Part man, part god, part monster too, perhaps. The rules of death don't quite apply to him. What did he want? Did he give you any trouble?
Yeah, because he has mortal mother, his father is Zeus, so he's a demigod of sorts. Part monster, I think, is more metaphorically speaking.
He was quite brusque, told me to stay out of his way. Sounds like he has a task of his own. Maybe Olympus isn't counting on me to succeed.
You know, I think Heracles would get along wonderfully with Nemesis.
Don't take it personally. You have wise relatives and ruthless ones. They may not like their odds hinging on any one individual. And
Do wash yourself with Heracles,
Oh?
Aye.
Alright. Suppose that we shall. I mean, they are. Heracles and Nemesis are kind of the equivalent characters in their respective directions. One is our rival in the underworld, the other on the surface.
That stuff again.
That stuff is pretty rare. That is from surface, the final floor of the summit. And we may have, yeah, gotten some stuff to plant more of it. It takes 77 time for that to get, for it to blossom.
You go.
To sprout. And it's pretty crazy.
We'll keep it safe.
That might even be what we have there, because it still hasn't sprouted even after we had a long run there. Alright, nothing new from Hypnos. And so that was our first time trying a new hidden aspect, and I really liked it. I mean, we may have gotten pretty lucky when it came to our build, the gods and goddesses that we got, although it wasn't immediately that we saw some of the key things. I think we did a pretty good job of managing when and where we chose to take the various gods and goddesses and selecting boons when they were at the right rarity and all that. So it was a nice bounce back run for that reason, and potentially what may be our go-to aspect for the skull, which is an encouraging sign. So that was a lot of fun. Obviously, another successful Typhon run, and we've only had, I think, 2 of those before this, so 3 total now. And we saw many of the the enemies that have been newly rebalanced. And so some of the things that I thought we were going to see were immediately disproved, because as I was mentioning with the dragon enemies, I thought that they got rid of their fire breath attack, and then as soon as I said that, he did a fire breath attack. So apparently, you know, it may not be exactly the way that I expected it to go. Some of the patch notes, I'm pretty sure that I installed the patch. Pretty sure it wouldn't have allowed me to play the game if I had not installed it, so I think we were still seeing all those updated things. But maybe not. Who knows? But it does mean that now it may make sense for us to either shift gears back to the underworld and potentially try the Scylla rival fight, which I don't believe we have done yet, if I'm not mistaken. So that is one new thing we still have yet to see. Otherwise, we may be fairly fast approaching the time when we want to go back to doing Chaos Trials, especially if it turns out that, despite the mixed messages that we are currently receiving, if it does turn out that we're going to end up losing the rewards we get at the end of the run. Oh, we also do have some fish we can cash in. But if we do end up losing our Zodiac Sand and or Void Lenses, then, yeah, it's a little less of an incentive for finishing the runs, at least until the full release comes out, so maybe all the more reason to go back to doing Chaos Trials. What if we just quickly sell some of these? I did mess up one of the fishing situations, so that if, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if that's the one issue we have with the previous run, I will take that every time. So that's okay. You know, we still have some bones to work with now. And as for next time, as I said, we may find ourselves going down to try the Super Scylla fight. But I suppose that remains to be seen. We can figure that out next time. Big picture, glad that we got ourselves another successful run on the surface. Those are hard to come by. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.